Hello, it is sisterguard here. Hopefully having a great day. I'm having a great day. We're back to Dan Rise because we're going to go over how to use the new auto infusions and the auto enchants for the blacksmith and the shadow upgrader, how they work, because they don't work how you think they do. I'm going to teach you how these work when you're going to actually want to use them. And we're going to talk about why we are very hard locked on 360 right now. Why no one seems to be able to get past it. And we're also going to test weapons versus shadows. See if shadows have finally caught up with weapons. I don't know. We'll see. But before we do all that, please make sure you smash the like button, do the subscribe button. I really appreciate those a lot. And we're going to get into it. So first things first, I finished my upgrader. The Hurricane upgrader is going to cost in total, I think it's 250k. Like it's a stupid amount. It is a absolute stupid amount. Which I'm not complaining, because a lot of us just have extra stuff laying around, but finally done. Yay. Cool. Next thing. Let's go ahead and talk about these auto enchanter, auto infusers, because I know everyone's a little confused as to how they work. So I'm just going to take this dagger that I've had here forever. So when you hit the auto enchanter, you can put in here what you're wanting. So let's go ahead and put max, because that's what most people are going to think to do. So that is what you are wanting. Cool. So once you've turned it all on, you've turned it active, because you do actually have to hit the active button to make this work, and you start rolling, it's going to keep rolling. Now, for those of y'all with a keen eye, you have noticed we have already passed the max on some of those, and we would have wanted that to stop. Let's go ahead and turn that off. So how this actually works and how you're going to want to use this is, let's roll this having one of the max things real quick. Temporal aspect 4. Perfect. We got that. How this works is this will roll any of your not locked stuff. But what it is looking for is not for one of these items to pop up like you would think. It's looking for all of them to pop up simultaneously, which is not good. What this is useful for and how this works is this is trying to roll everything you have selected all at the same time. So I'm going to let you know why this is doing this. Basically, Pydos took, if we go over here to stats, we go to the auto roller. He basically took the auto roller from here and reconfigured it for weapons. The problem is when you auto roll, each of these, when you roll on it, doesn't affect the other ones. If that makes sense. Like if you try to get an M for damage, you know, all of that, it individually goes through that. The problem is the blacksmith is not locking this when you're rolling when you get the enchant you want. And the shadow enchanter is doing the exact same thing. So what this is really good for, let me go ahead and take out Sacred Rita. Let me lock that. Let me lock Burning Flame. Looting's at max. My sharpness is at max. That's at max. That's at max. So now let's go over these enchants. And say I want Vaporal Aspect 4. And I want to go ahead and put Shadow Aspect on this. Basically, you are setting this to get a very specific one. So you don't have to keep rapid spam clicking this. This is not good for just using a fresh weapon or a fresh shadow, if that makes sense. Because it's going to try and reroll everything that's not locked. And it will not lock them. The reason it's doing this is it's not able to calculate, because when we lock or get something, this dust requirement increases. Because if y'all didn't know that, the more you lock, the more this dust goes up. The shadow stats don't do that. The shadow stats always cost the same amount. No matter how much you roll, they will always cost the same amount to re-roll. So the problem is it has not been configured into the enchanting or the infusion thing yet to go, oh, you want me to lock as I go and the numbers will change. It's not that smart yet. And I've already heard of people losing all their enchants. So I'm going to show you again how this works on Goku over here. Just so y'all can kind of get a better idea of how this is to be optimized. So I'm going to go ahead and so I got Eternal Ascension 2. I needed that. What this is going to be really, really good for, basically, is getting that one last enchant or infusion up to the tier you want it to be. That is why this is going to be good. I'm trying to get this to where it's just down to I need one. So I can show y'all an example. Okay. So, I have gotten him Eternal Ascension 2. I've gotten him Spectral Agility 3. And I've gotten him Phantom Swiftness 5. So, the last thing I want is Umbral Power 10. We're going to go over to Auto Infusions. We're going to go down to Umbral Power. We're going to hit 10. We're going to hit Active. And then we're going to go over here and roll. And it is going to roll until I get Umbral Power 10. There you go. If you missed it at the top of the screen, I'll replay it again. It says all infusions applied. It is stopping. That means that this is how I figured this out. Is I was like, oh, if I individually do this, and I was looking at the CC chat at a comment Pydos made, this is to help you get that final one so you're not spending forever spamming the button. That is what this is useful for. I know there's going to be some people in the comment section be like, ew. It will help. It is not a full auto roll tool. Okay? I want to comment that. It is to help you. It is not a full auto roll tool. So for those of you that are really confused on how that system works, basically it's to help you get that one or two other enchants or infusions you do not have. Cool. We good? Yay. Next thing we're going to go over. Why everyone is hardlocked at 363. So I'm going to show you a little diagram. So currently, I do, out of castle, about 400 QAG. So we can see where QAG is on that. Everyone see their number? Everyone see. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's go into castle. Let's go to checkpoints. Let's go to 350. There's a reason we're going to start at 350. So as we start getting up closer to 359, 356. So these guys have 16 UQ AG, which, if y'all remember from our lovely little thing, that's one step above where our damage is. Okay, cool. So we were progressing nicely. 350 starts at QAG, and we're progressing through this. Okay, so we're at 359. I want you to look at their hit points. Okay, so it's about 100 UA. Now this is why when we hit 360, you will understand. And I'm going to show you some math as to why there's a huge issue and why likely 363, maybe 364 if someone's lucky, is going to be the max for a while. And yes, I said a while. So we're on 360. Yeah, you see that number right there? Let's pull back up our little thing again. Editing me's hating this right now. But yeah, we completely skipped DQ and TQ and are at QA. I'm going to let y'all know every time we go up an increment, that's 1,000. It's getting 3 zeros attached on the end of that. So different. So it is a massive jump. That is why the only reason why people are able to get to 363 right now is that what they're using is blood weapon and like 6 hours of time to try and kill everything. There is no way right now we will be able to progress unless either Pydos made an oopsie. Pydos may have done this to slow us down because, to be frank, in the past month, we have gone through so much of the game, it's not even funny. Or this is intentional to build us up in other places because we still have relics we don't have access to yet. We're not able to get through. So, yes, can you get through 360? Absolutely, you can. Very doable. Can we get through 363? Yep. Beyond that? So, this video was supposed to be about how we were partially locked to 363. I literally already had this up on YouTube for the members already. Like, done. Fully done. I had to take it down. And we are going to go check this out. See how far along we can actually get now. And see what the damage is. Because basically, once we hit 360, the scaling was like 1,000 plus times harder for whatever reason. So they have decreased it, so we're going to see. Oh, wow. They did. They decreased it. So that was, to give y'all context, it got decreased by well over 100, like multiplier. I still think we are unfortunately soft-locked here. Because they still skipped a whole thing. They still skipped, like... The only reason I'm doing damage is because of blood weapon right now. So they did decrease the scaling, but we still had a massive jump. We still skipped a whole denomination. And I'll show you on screen what I'm talking about. 359 was UQAG. The next denomination should have been DQAG, but it is instead TQAG. So they have decreased it by 100, because it used to be QAG. So they've decreased it, but it is still very, very unobtainable at the moment. So we are still soft locked. Good lord. Okay. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, us being soft lock, is we can't progress past this. Like, I was doing no damage. Nothing was moving. I have all the buffs on right now, and nothing is moving. So that means right now, 363 is probably going to be the highest obtainable for a while. Cool. So, what I'm going to go do, I'm going to go switch over to shadows real quick, and we're going to do a little DPS test, see if they're holding up, and see where they're at. Because that's the question I get asked a lot. Is weapons or shadows better? So give me a moment, and I'll switch over. Okay, let's go ahead and start back at 350. If it is going to keep up with weapons, it has to be able to get to 360 in less than like 15-20 minutes. Okay, we are blazing past 360 or 350. So I'm not using a potion, and I'm not even using the best title anymore. I need to switch my title. So my Monarch, my Halloween Monarch, is doing 77.10 QAG. My other GRs are doing 40. My Gokus, the Gokus are better than them, they're doing 7. I have not rolled the Gokus over yet, or most of them. The Gokus gain about 2.5 times damage. So I am at 4 times speed though right now. So let's drop this back down to 1 time speed. These guys are getting on par with weapons. I'm letting y'all know. There's still a gap, I feel like, but we are getting very, very close. Let me double check that I have all the relics upgraded. I think I do. Yeah, so that's all the HDM relics. I honestly thought there would be a bigger gap. This isn't their damage with dual title yet. Give me one moment, and I will switch them over to dual title. We'll see where their damage is at. That's getting really close, guys. That's really, really close. Let me reset this real quick to 350 and see how they do, because we're doing almost... Mind you, we're doing this damage to a single target. I feel like they are very close. I'm not using potions either. Okay, I know y'all are going to see this number over here and be like, oh yeah, shiny, yay. I need y'all to take into account, weapons right now have skills, which do way more than that. They also affect everything on the board and aren't a single target. Okay. Are shadows better? No. But they are getting very, very, very close to being on par. I don't feel like just because of all the utilities that weapons have right now that they're on par yet. But are we getting closer? Yes. I have gone ahead and turned this up to ×4, so y'all are seeing an even bigger number. I want to remind y'all that is a single target. That's not us heading all targets on the board. I kind of want to do a test on the next dungeon to see who gets to 360 with how much time left. That's probably what I'll do, because this is getting close. It's not pretty, but it's getting close. All right, what we're gonna do? We're gonna start at 350. The moment I get into it, we're gonna turn on ×4 and run to the door. Then I'm gonna switch over to weapon, and we're gonna see how much time we have left when we hit 360. That is the best way to test this. So hitting ×4, just gonna let it roll. So we're doing shadows right now. I also want to comment with shadows, the sword I'm using for this is not the best. So Crimson Fangs would give me, what is that? I would get another purple slot. So this is unfortunately not a true test, but I have a feeling that we will be finding out which is still better, even without that. So I'm going to let y'all know right now we are failing on 358 with probably 6 to 7 enemies left. So I've got to reset. I'm going to wait to see exactly what it is before it kicks me out. And then I will come back in with the full weapon setup. And we'll see where it goes. I know y'all see the big pretty number in the right-hand corner and go, ooh. Also realize that's a single target. So we had 6 enemies left. Cool. And I already know I'm going to get a comment by some people that 825, this one's may be better than this one. For my setup, it is not. I get a slightly more damage doing it this way. Okay, back to 350. Times 4 speed. Let it go. So, they are getting closer. As y'all can see. This is a no contest. I'm letting y'all know right now because we have 19 minutes. So... it's instead of being thousands of less now, it is now within about, I'd say, a 10 multiplier. And weapon has a lot of other utility going for it that's helping it. So, is it perfect? No. Is it doing pretty good? Yeah. I actually think there's a gotcha I didn't move over because there's one gotcha that the Monarch is horrible for weapon, but it's better for shadow. But that little percent's not gonna make up that big of a difference. But shadows are getting closer. I know Pydos is trying to balance this like crazy. So there's your answer. Weapons are still better. Weapons are still meta. I'm sorry, but and of course we enter 360 and you have to use blood weapon. So I'm gonna leave this here. I gotta go farm up a ton of resources and see y'all next time.